based on Garth Ennis' dark comic series, The Boys, when it premiered last year, was one of the most refreshing, or should I say, surprising thing to watch. And I even put it in my top 5 best series to watch in 2019. Links there. After a decade of superheroes, all thanks to Marvel, the question of superhero fatigue was very natural. And with already running flawed superhuman based shows like The Umbrella Academy and Doom Patrol, everyone was skeptical as to do we need another one in the genre. But to everyone's surprise, The Boys came as a torpedo and totally flipped the genre. Even if you loathe superheroes or comic book based movies, you could not shake off the visceral effect The Boys had and how much entertaining it was. It took adult themes and gore into television to a completely new height. And with a tight script and characters rooted in reality, it was an instant hit. So the boys are back in 2020, and now this time Amazon has opted for a weekly release instead of a full one. A decision that I don't understand because I love binge watching. Anyways, with 5 episodes out till date, I thought of sharing my silly opinions on it. So, as a whole, season 2 of The Boys is a solid improvement over the first one. Smarter, sharper, and more engaging, it is in short more in line with the current world. Post capitalist society of America to be exact. It shows how much power social media wields over anything else. Even faster than sound, superhuman can fall a little behind time. Take for instance Homelander, the sadistic and disturbed superhuman who leads America's team of ostensibly heroic do-gooders called Seven. Halfway through season 2, Homelander realizes that he's being hit by social media. Being too universally adored, he cannot understand why his $2 million PR campaign is being overrun by viral tweets and memes. And as much as he wants to laser every hater of him to death, he cannot do so owing to the power of social media. Even one of his teammates said, "You have fans, I have soldiers." And that's not it. The best thing about this season is how smartly it adds complexity and depth to its characters and stories. The show started as a fun but fairly weightless exercise in gory and meta-nihilism. The tough guy Billy Butcher and his newbie recruit Huey are out for revenge for the death of their loved ones at the hands of the publicly noble but privately evil superheroes of a team called Seven run by nefarious Watt Corporation. The show derived a lot of wit and energy from this gonzo premise, but in first season did not do much beyond gruesome action and playing with the idea of how you would fight the mighty powerful who everyone loves. Later on in the series, we realize that the superheroes are not naturally born but are synthesized in lab using a drug called Compound V. Our protagonists try to uncover the secrets of Compound V but pretty much fail in their endeavor. And the season ended with a shocking cliffhanger. The second season improves by making the knowledge of Compound V released into public straight away. But still our boys are in no good condition than before. And somehow the Watt Corporation has turned the knowledge of Compound V to their benefit. It shows how by fighting capitalism you actually become a tool of capitalism, symbolized by none other than Starlight. She is not a newbie of Seven with high ideals anymore. In fact, as commented by Stormfront, she is as much a Watt doll as they come. And talking about Stormfront, man oh man was she something. We get introduced to her as a saucy and tech savvy new member of the Seven, who is like no bullshit and outspoken. Even Starlight relates to her in the first. But like most things in this show, not all is what it seems. And Stormfront's dynamic with her teammates became one of the best things to watch out in this season. And without getting into spoilers much, let's just say that by the end of episode 3, Stormfront takes the whole world by storm literally. Now coming to the actual boys. Things are pretty rough from the get-go. We see Butchers and the rest of the crewmate are separated. And there is clearly a fractured relationship among them. With Huey even thinking that he is not the underdog leader and they don't need Butcher anymore. But when things go haywire, enters Butcher with his iconic line, "Don't you worry, Daddy's home." It was so funny to see Huey's reaction there, and they even go a full circle once again, with Huey almost giving up on everything once again before coming up to Butcher. The gang is once more struggling to take down Watt, hiding out beneath a Manhattan pawn shop. The relationship between Huey and Starlight, Frankie and Kimiko looks more mature, especially Kimiko, She gets in the center of storyline and she gives a thriller performance. Without even speaking a word, you can feel all the emotions, love and compassion, hatred and rage emanating from her. But none of this means that the show's foundation of smarmy satire, brutal violence, and comic book intrigue is any less pulpy or fun. As usual, Boys is less interested in subtlety than in over the top imagery, delivering high octane violence with a snarky tone and a punchant for broadside gags is the hallmark of Boys. And that's why I'd be tuning in every week to watch the next episodes and will try to revisit it when the season ends. By then, thank you for watching till end. Stay tuned for more series reviews like this, and most importantly, be happy and stay safe. Peace.